In this video, we're going to talk about communication tips for your performance review, specifically your yearly performance review. I'll go through what to say in your performance review so you can approach it with clarity and confidence, hopefully leading you to getting a great performance review. I've got a few videos coming out in the coming weeks on getting a promotion, so if you are interested in those videos, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell too. Why do we even need performance reviews? Well, there are a number of reasons why they're important. First, it helps your employer know about your success. It helps you get feedback about your performance at work, and it helps you think critically about how you can improve and grow as a professional. Performance reviews only happen a couple of times a year. They're usually a one-on-one conversation with your direct boss, but it's really important that you get them right. Here's what you need to do to be prepared for your performance review so you can ace your performance review. Number one, highlight your achievements. It's really important to start off the performance review conversation on a positive note. And when you talk about your achievements, when you talk about your strengths, you look excited, you look positive. Your boss will pick up on this vibe and they will know that you just love your job. But the main problem is you might find it difficult to think about things that you've achieved or to be confident when you're talking about them. Now, I know for a fact that there are things you should be proud of in your career. There are things that you have achieved in your professional life. You just need to remember them for that performance review. For example, maybe in the past year, you successfully organized a webinar for your company. Or maybe you got a difficult client to pay their invoice on time. The win you have, the achievements that you think of, it will depend on your specific job and on your role. But I want you to start thinking about this, and I want you to choose 1 to 2 achievements you've had over the last 3 to 6 months in your professional life and use the PCOR method. P stands for project. So what was the project? C stands for challenges. What challenges did you face? O stands for overcome. How did you overcome those challenges? R stands for results. What were the results you generated? Using the PCOR method, it will help you to talk about your achievements with your manager and to highlight them in a way that makes them more prominent. Which leads us to the next point where you talk about how you have progressed. What did you learn in those achievements you just told your boss about? What have you learned generally since your last performance review? Or what are the biggest lessons in the projects or the teams you've worked in? Talking about your progress can help your manager understand how you have grown as a professional, what you've learned, how you've improved. Sometimes your boss might not see this. Sometimes they might overlook the things that you've achieved. They're so busy in their job, it's really easy for them to just overlook these things. But it's up to you to highlight this to them, to bring it to the forefront so they cannot deny it. And so they can see all the fantastic achievements that you've made. Highlighting your progress like this in the performance review meeting makes it obvious to them, and it makes you more memorable as a professional. So before your performance review, think of 3 to 5 skills that you have learned since your last performance review and use before and after examples like this. Before working on Project XYZ, I had never been in charge of a group project before. Now I know how to clearly communicate goals to people, get them motivated to work towards those goals, and set specific deadlines to work towards so we can achieve the desired result. The third strategy is to talk about areas you can improve on. In a professional's life, there will always be areas that you can improve on. It's part of having a learning mindset. Don't be the person who thinks they don't need to learn anything because they are already great at everything. If you are like this, you will get the reputation of being egotistical. You need to recognize and talk about the areas that you can still improve on, and make sure you discuss this during your performance review. So to prepare, think of 1 to 2 areas that you need to improve on. Think back to projects that you've worked on. Where did your weaknesses lie? And talk about those areas of possible improvement in your performance review. It could be a role-related skill or it could be a soft skill. For example, when I was organizing the webinar, I felt I could have managed my time better. This is something I'd like to work on and improve on in the next 3 to 6 months. And I'd like to take a course that will teach me good time management skill. Do you see how I've talked about a weakness, as well as your intent to improve on that weakness, a time frame in which you want to improve on that weakness, and a hint at L&D opportunities that you would like. You can also link this to your career goals. For example, for our next performance review in 12 months' time, I want to have led a project with a bigger team. I feel I did a great job leading 5 people, achieving the goals I aimed for, and I'd like to strengthen my team management ability with a bigger team. So to sum up, when you talk about areas that you would like to improve on, it makes you look like a proactive, dedicated professional, and will definitely win you points in your performance review. The fourth tip is to ask about future plans of the department or your company. This shows that you have interest in the big picture and helps you understand how you, as a professional, are linked to that big picture as well. This is great information for aspiring leaders or anyone who wants to advance in their career. When it comes to future plans, you can also reference information you've read or you've heard about. Simply ask, what are the main goals for our company in the next 12 months? Or, what are the main goals for our department in the next 12 months? These questions will definitely make you look like you are interested in the progress of your company, and you might be surprised at the information you can uncover. If you've done a good job with the first 3 points I discussed in this video, then your boss will feel a lot more comfortable and confident revealing this information to you. Number 5 is to ask about future expectations. This highlights your proactiveness and your willingness to learn, and employers respond really well to this. They want to know the people they've hired are invested in their own growth, are invested in their own success, just like the company is when they recruited you. And it also helps you understand what will be expected of you in the future. What skill set will you be required to develop? What level of responsibility will you be required to have? And does this tie in with your future career goals? Now, if your employer does not provide any opportunity for you to grow, if they do not want to discuss your growth or learning or development in that company, then you might need to rethink your current position. The reality is you might not be working for the right company to help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Now, I don't say this lightly. I don't recommend anyone to just go out there and quit their job. But if your current employer isn't offering any learning and development opportunities, if they don't want to invest in your future growth and career progression, then you may need to rethink, are you working for the right company? So when you finish your performance review, I want you to walk away with 3 to 5 future expectations for yourself. 3 to 5 expectations your boss has of you. Now, if you're nervous in your performance review because your boss makes you nervous, you need to watch this video right here where I teach you how to speak confidently to people who make you nervous at work.